This show is just a treasure trove of weird people. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 most shocking guests on Dr. Phil. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at even more people who have shocked with their appearances on Dr. Phil. We're not only including violent or depraved individuals, although those will certainly be counted, but we're also looking at generally unhinged or abnormal people who may cause viewers to recoil in surprise or embarrassment. Number 10. Amy and Samy from Kitchen Nightmares. Let's begin with a nice crossover between Dr. Phil and Kitchen Nightmares.
If you touch you come from here, I told you. You go. You.
Amy and Samy first appeared on the latter series and were met with fierce backlash regarding the way they handled criticism. It was also the first time that Gordon walked away from a restaurant, realizing that there was nothing he could do to change the attitude of its owners. Amy and Samy later appeared on Dr. Phil to defend themselves, but it mostly boiled down to Samy yelling at people and the couple insinuating that every restaurant owner in Israel acts in a belligerent fashion.
Everyone behaves the way my husband does. That's where he comes from. And you go to each restaurant and they're all screaming and yelling, and no one comes into a restaurant to try to bully you or harass you or anything.
When the world's watching, you might want to keep a lid on it.
We think they were trying to clear their names, but they only made the situation worse.
All those people you see, they were actors for Kitchen Nightmare.
Number 9. Sugar Baby. A lot of people in today's economy are struggling to make ends meet. Some take on second jobs, others become sugar babies.
I made about $30,000 in cash, and I've gotten about $20,000 to $30,000 in gifts.
We suppose that's technically a second job, just, not really a legitimate one. 23-year-old Michelle moved to California to attend school, but quickly became a sugar baby, which is a young person who goes out with rich older people in order to receive money and or material gain.
I have kissed them, but we've never had sex. I'm not a prostitute.
While Michelle claims she has a strict no-sex policy, she admits to kissing and receiving roughly $50,000 in cash and expensive gifts. She then tells her father what she's been doing with herself, and his disappointment is heartbreaking. Surprise, surprise, it's not quite what he envisioned for his daughter.
My parents always taught me you're gonna earn, you're gonna go out there and work for whatever that you do.
Number 8. Pastor Thom and his 19-year-old pregnant girlfriend. The age difference between 61-year-old Thom and 19-year-old Reba is substantial. Oh, and the man is a pastor who's already married.
We have been looking for another wife to add to our family for a few years.
To make the story even more surreal, Thom's wife Belinda claims that she and Thom had wanted a polygamous marriage for a long time, and that she was elated when Reba was married into the family. She also states that she doesn't intrude on their relationship and that Thom alternates his nights with Reba and Belinda.
We happen to have a great age difference, and both of them are going to outlive me. I get it.
Phil says that their sexual relationship creeps a lot of people out, and considering Thom has known Reba since she was a child, such feelings aren't exactly unfounded. Number 7. The Digital Kidnapper. April and Nathan are parents of 4-year-old twins confronting a woman named Ashley, who stole photos of their daughters off Facebook and passed them off as her own children online.
And I can't even get joy out of my little girls because I'm freaked out every person that looks at them or talks to them is someone that's related to you. They're gonna snack them up and steal them from me.
Taking the deception even further, Ashley has concocted an elaborate story regarding her children, has framed photos of the girls in her house, and has a fabricated story to go along with every single stolen picture.
I had made some mistakes in my life, and I was sent to prison, and I lost custody of them because of that.
Ashley, of course, denies everything, despite very clear evidence to the contrary. We don't know if this is despicable or just tragic. Maybe it's a combination of both. It would seem that mental health is an issue, but that doesn't make the situation any less creepy.
For 4 years, you followed our family. For 4 years, everywhere we've gone. I mean, how violated can you even imagine that we feel?
Number 6. I'm one of the best anorexics out there. In this episode, a woman named Jordan, who weighs 75 pounds, speaks to Dr. Phil about wanting to lose even more weight, with her ultimate goal being around 70 pounds.
Show how disciplined I can be and how I'm one of the best anorexics out there.
Jordan admits that she loves the attention she receives from her clearly distraught parents and the shocked expressions her appearance elicits when she passes people on the street. It's another instance of not knowing whether we should be shocked or sad, because this is just a tragic tale from every angle.
She says she does it because it pisses you off.
Seeing the skeletal Jordan is enough to make anyone feel sorry for both her and her parents. Number 5, the woman who is 1000% certain of a 3-year pregnancy. Most pregnancies last 40 weeks. Zona's alleged pregnancy has been going on for over 170, or so she says.
My belly has continued to grow for the 3.5 years, but it does grow at super low rates.
40-year-old Zona appeared on Dr. Phil claiming to have been pregnant for 3 years and 7 months, despite having her tubes tied at 20. And like any expectant mother, Zona has visited doctors, all of whom could not find a baby. Zona chalks this up to their ultrasounds having too many megahertz.
Because I have heard that I have stage 4 bladder cancer.
Someone told you had stage 4 bladder cancer and you did nothing about it.
And despite Zona feeling movement and heartbeats, the OBGYN Dr. Phil hired to study her said that Zona's anatomy is normal and that there was nothing in her uterus. We don't know what's going on here, but it's certainly not a baby. Number 4, woman is being poisoned by her husband. If you thought this list couldn't get any more tragic, think again.
He injected me in my eyes, on top of my eyelids, in between my eyebrows, my temple, forehead, on my chin.
A woman named Pat believes that her husband Mira is poisoning her to keep her sedated, so he can openly molest their daughters. As proof, she shows needle marks, which are nothing more than regular skin bumps.
My wife has been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia.
She's so paranoid that she sleeps on the floor of her daughter's bedrooms, barricades the doors, and wears a softball helmet to protect herself. Mira claims that she's been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and has been committed in the past.
My dad was like putting me to sleep and he kissed me goodnight. And then my mom said like for him to get away from me.
It's a horrible story of a family being torn apart by mental illness, and it makes for devastating television. Number 3, the 756-pound man. Robert gave us quite the sight. He sat on Phil's couch, head leaned back, and was barely able to string together a sentence due to his enormous size. Because Robert hadn't weighed himself in 5 years, Phil brought in an industrial scale and discovered that he weighed an unbelievable 756 pounds.
I just miss being able to ride a bike and play basketball with my friends and going out and being active.
Robert's daily life was as difficult as you would expect. He desperately wanted to be active and was tired of feeling lonely and trapped. Robert was sent to Wellspring Academy and lost 260 pounds, although he had unfortunately gained it back by 2015. You can follow Robert's renewed progress and life through his YouTube channel, Raging Robert, which is still active as of January 2019.
I am glad to see less of you.
Me too.
Yeah.
Number 2, racist against her own race. This segment bears a scary resemblance to the BAN episode of Atlanta, and it's so bizarre and surreal that it could easily be taken for satire.
I know a lot of people take issue with my beliefs. I'm white.
The guest is Treasure, and she believes that she's white. She spouts tons of disgusting racist language toward black people and has the KKK's number on speed dial, which, to be honest, we didn't even know was a thing.
And plus, they're so thug and criminal that I can't relate.
Okay.
When taken onto the street, Treasure acts like a stereotypical white girl while also showing disgust towards the gaggle of African Americans. Her word, not ours.
I feel like people have the right to refuse service, and I feel like they would probably steal something, so of course they should be asked to leave.
We're not sure if Treasure is mentally troubled or just a massive troll. It's just too bizarre and shocking to be believed.
I mean, that's just so riddled with ignorance, I don't even know how to respond.
Okay.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
She just started saying anything that she could, that I hurt her son, that I drug him out back, I bloodied his knuckles, that I punished him, that I called him names, berated him.
You filled this up with vodka, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And it's still got some in it, a little bit.
Can I have it?
My mom's buying a Bentley for herself. Why can't I get a G-Wagon?
Why do you need a G-Wagon?
The voices told me if I don't save the baby birds, then they're gonna do something to my family, something bad. So I killed them.
You can't blame women for what they do wrong in the same way that you can't blame a dog for what it does wrong. It's your fault for not training it properly.
Number 1, the teen who killed her own mom. It's not often that Dr. Phil interviews somebody this troubled. For this special episode, Phil interviewed Rachel Hudson, a teenager who murdered her sick mother.
Like, I knew things weren't going to get better once my mom passed.
Rachel explains that her mother was not well, having suffered multiple heart attacks and kidney failure, and that she wanted to commit a murder-suicide to relieve her family of their supposed burden. After killing her mother, she sent a photo of her body to her disbelieving father, who repeatedly asked to speak to his wife.
You did not have the right to decide for your mother when she ended her life, however labored and difficult her life course was.
I know that.
It's a heavier story than Dr. Phil's typical brand, and it leaves a dreadful, lasting impression. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.